A friend of mine recently posed an interesting question to me. He said, if you were to help someone who was severely overweight get started with weight loss, which three physical products would you recommend? I didn't have an answer right away, but I was intrigued by the question. It rattled around my brain for the next day or so. I knew that, whatever they would have to make weight loss easier, more convenient, and maybe even enjoyable. After 24 hours, I had my answer, which I share with you now in this video. Awesome gadget number one, a blender. Most of us really stink at getting enough fruits and vegetables, which is a big reason why we're smack in the middle of an obesity epidemic. There are a few reasons for this deficiency, but one of the key ones is that unhealthy food is just more convenient. Even the act of chewing fruits and vegetables is more time-consuming because of the high fiber content. But the reason why green smoothies have caught on so much within the last decade is because this excuse is removed from the equation. Making a healthy smoothie can take as little as a few minutes. You can also buy portable cups to take these liquid salads to go. And you don't need to stress in the morning to make your smoothie before work. Smoothies stay fresh for about 24 hours, so you can make them the night before and store them in the fridge for the next morning. So you now have a convenient concoction that you can sip, and yet, because of the high fiber content, will fill you up for hours. Try getting that benefit from a cup of coffee or a soft drink. But just to be clear, we are talking about blending fruits and vegetables, not juicing them. Juicing is inferior because it removes the fiber, which means you're getting less nutrients and you won't get that feeling of fullness we're looking for. With juicing, you're really only getting sugar and water. But won't a drink with kale, spinach, or chard in it taste really bad? The short answer is no. You can customize smoothies to your own taste. One of my favorites over the last few years is simply one banana, one apple, about an inch of kale on the top, and a cup or so of filtered water. This type of smoothie is cheap and takes just a few minutes to prepare. And I hardly even notice the flavor of the kale, yet it's still in my system, offering a host of important vitamins that include vitamins A, C, and K. It also offers calcium and minerals that many of us are deficient in, such as potassium, phosphorus, and zinc. And you do not have to break the bank to get a decent smoothie blender. A model like the Hamilton Beach Stay or Go blender does a fine job against fruits and veggies, comes with two portable 16-ounce travel cups, and costs less than $30 on Amazon.com. Here's one last reason to get into the green smoothie groove today. I started this practice a few years ago and have not had a sick day since. In fact, not even a half day of sniffles or a scratchy throat. And I only make these 3 or 4 days a week. Have I taken away all your resistance? I hope so. Awesome gadget number 2. A popcorn machine. This may seem a slightly unorthodox product for weight loss, but it may also be the most important for this reason. I believe the number one reason that people can't change their snacking habits when trying to lose weight is because they believe they'll need to give up all of their comfort snacks. In many cases, that's true. But popcorn is one you can keep, and here's why. Provided you make popcorn the right way, it's actually good for you. Now, we're not talking about caramel or kettle corn, which are loaded with sugar and calories. We're talking about good old-fashioned air-popped popcorn without a bunch of added sugar or salt. And we're talking about whole grain popcorn, which provides necessities like B vitamins, vitamin E, antioxidants, and protein. But what may be most important is that it provides fiber. This is something that most people are seriously deficient in, and especially Americans who only get about 1/3 of the recommended amount each day. 3 cups of popcorn, which would be roughly the amount we might eat in one sitting, offers 3 grams of fiber. And because fiber makes you feel full faster, you're also going to stop snacking quicker than with all of the fiberless snacks. But what about the calories? There's a mere 93 of them in 3 cups of plain popcorn. This is less than half the calories you'd find in most chocolate bars. You would increase the calories by adding butter, but this is still preferable to any snack loaded up with sugar. Better yet, top a bowl of popcorn with herbs and spices, using a bit of olive oil to make it stick. You can even customize toppings to your taste: cinnamon or nutmeg if you like something sweet, cayenne pepper or paprika if you prefer spicy. Now, I'm not claiming here that popcorn is the perfect healthy snack. If you want that, eat fistfuls of fresh spinach instead. But I feel that popcorn is a great snacking option for someone who's trying to lose weight but struggling with cravings. Popcorn is a crunchy, comfortable, familiar snack that won't create a shock to your pleasurable food system. And a good air popper also won't break the bank, with good options available for under $30. Awesome gadget number 3. A set of Nordic Poles. Before we get into the third awesome gadget, I'd like to include a disclaimer. You can't exercise yourself thin. Any health or nutrition expert will tell you this, but we get confused by food companies that try to convince us that we can easily burn off their junk foods with a bit of exercise. The truth is that it would take absurd amounts of exercise just to burn off the calories in a couple of donuts. However, there are a ton of other benefits of exercise, including that of weight loss maintenance. But for some of us, most types of exercise are just too intense. This is why walking is a great start and should be encouraged. And a more intense walk is even better. This is usually called a jog, but not necessarily, as there is another way to increase the intensity of a walk besides adding speed. This method uses a simple gadget that burns 20% more calories than a walk without the gadget. If you've seen others use Nordic Poles but never used them yourself, you may have wondered what the heck they're doing. Are they delusional people fantasizing about being Olympic cross-country skiers? No, they're smart people burning 20% more calories while doing the simplest form of exercise. The reason we know that you burn more calories this way is because a study was done to prove it. The Cooper Institute in Dallas tested 11 men and 11 women on a 200-meter track, having the subjects walk 8 times around the track with and without Nordic Poles. With the poles, far more calories were burned for one simple reason: more muscles were being used. This includes several muscles that don't get used during a typical walk, like those in the arms, shoulders, chest, and upper back. And here's the best part. In their study, the Cooper Institute researchers reported that perceived exertion from the subjects walking with poles was not significantly increased. In other words, the subjects barely felt the difference between a walk with and without poles, yet they burnt way more calories when the poles were used. Now, increasing the intensity of exercise without really feeling it is about as sweet a deal as you're going to get. You also won't really feel the cost, since you can get a good pair for about $75. And this is why Nordic Poles are the third and final awesome gadget you must have for easier weight loss.